Hello, everybody. Welcome on to episode 74 of the Pod of War Gamescast. I'm your host, EUF Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Dads Chris Bengali
Hello, everyone.
and Mr. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Ubisoft Plus EA Play CW Lanky.
Hello.
So, boys, it's been a little while. I apologise for the shenanigans that has been my knee surgery. I lived. I have two knees. We're all good.
Are you like Jesus? Are you born again?
Kinda. I don't have pain anymore. It's weird. It doesn't lock. I can go upstairs. Oh, it's a whole new world. I'm back in
He's
the
not the Messiah.
He's
a very naughty
I'm a
boy.
very naughty boy, Krieger. But I will be back in the gym soon, so that's exciting.
Hell
And, yeah. So hashtag Hunky Dave will be back soon enough. But before we get to Hunky Dave, let's talk about the rigmarole. That's what we've been bought, what we've been playing, what we've done. We're going to end on Pengy because we're all here for Pengy's opinion on a certain video game, aren't we? And that's going to be the half topic of the show. So we'll get to that at the end. So let's start with Krieger. Krieger, what have you bought? What have you played in this fine, warm weather?
I've bought nothing.
Shock.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, no shock
You
there.
say it's a shop, but I thought he may have bought a certain licensed game in double discount.
Yeah, there's just too much to fucking play, Penguins. I just can't keep up, mate.
There's no games on Xbox, and you know it, Krieger.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll get there. I will get there, Chris. Don't you worry. It's just too much to play. It's too much to play at the moment. What I have been playing is God. It's really hard because I feel like we podcast ages ago. I finished Ghostwire. I think I started that last time.
I think you've mentioned you finished it maybe 3 times in a row now. I think you
I
generally
don't think
confused
so.
it. I feel like you did last time, but then I've
know.
spoken to you since, so I don't know.
No, I can't have done.
But let's go with you finished it this time. So, Krieger, what did you think of
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo?
I kind of agree with Ray that it's very mid.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Perfect
mid.
Game Pass fodder, I think is the description.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like it's weird because it's like an open world sort of game, but it only took me, according to True Achievements, 13.5 hours. And like I think that's pretty much the perfect length for this game. Like it didn't really need to be any longer than that. Still very flashy in that and very stylish. And the setting's kind of cool. But it's not got much depth to it. I think that's the problem. And it does you do start to run out of like, it's to do with winding up fairly soon. So like I said, I'm glad it wasn't like 25 hours long because God, that would have been a slog at that point. I think I feel like it's like the perfect example of like a 7 out of 10 game. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really is like that exact ballpark. I think it reviewed slightly better than that, which may be a little bit generous. I don't think it helps that the performance is that great either. I think maybe if the performance was like much smoother, that might have helped it a little bit. But yeah, like a perfect 7 out of 10. If you want to play a Tango game, play Hi-Fi Rush instead. It's so much better than this. Like it's actually kind of crazy that the same people developed this. It's the same team because Hi-Fi Rush is far superior.
I think it's like very much a case of sometimes when you're allowed to be super creative, that doesn't necessarily add up to a wonderful video game, does it? I think.
Yeah. So I finished that. Also played the Forza Rally with you, Davey.
Yeah, we finished the co-op.
We did the co-op. We did the races together, which I know is just utter fucking insanity.
Madness.
Utter madness. Yeah, that was fun. Enjoyed that. It's such a weird feeling knowing that game's done now. I've actually uninstalled it.
Same.
So the first time since that game launched, that's been sat on my Xbox like the entire time. I actually uninstalled it now, and it's such a weird feeling that like I've literally, according to True Achievements, 164 hours I played that game.
It's such a taken for granted game in my mind because like it sits in the same universe as Football Manager and kind of now Age of Empires, where it's like I forget it's a game. Like in my mind, it's not a game. It's just this thing I do. Like it's you know what I mean. Like it's not like I don't. It's not Zelda. Forza's just a thing. It's there. It's always there. Like you know what I mean. So I'm the same. I've uninstalled it when we finished playing, and it's like, oh my god, like how good was that? Didn't even really
Yeah.
notice it, but yeah, so
Especially the amount of
underappreciated as well. So
new
underappreciated.
content that it's had. Like, obviously, the
Right.
2 big DLCs, and like some little smaller updates,
Mhm.
which also had achievements, like the car packs and all that. Like, you think we paid like, what did we pay for that? Like
30,
30?
35 we paid,
Like, the
34.99.
value for that is just insane,
Yeah,
isn't it?
like of
It's
course
just,
we've have paid for our subscription before anyone says it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like yeah, I mean, we've easily made the money in that game and the other games we mentioned. You know what I mean? So yeah, sad time, but it was fun. It was fun playing that in co-op. I'm a lot better at rally than I am at any other
Yeah.
type of thing. It's actually kind of funny how much better I am at rally than I am at any of the road races we've been doing because we've co-opted both games now, 4 and 5 all the way through. Me and you have co-opted, haven't we?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh god,
And then to finish off the trifecta of Xboxness, obviously more Age of Empires 2.
never ends, does it? We've
Never
got some
ends.
schedule for tomorrow. That's how much it never ends.
Yeah, it's a constant.
Hmm.
It's just there now. And then the only other new thing I started Ravenlock. I'm a few hours in, so I'm probably not far away, I would imagine, at this
I
point.
think it's about 6 hours, maybe. I think I
Yeah,
did it
I
in
think there's
4.
3 main McGubbins you've got to get, isn't there, by the looks of
Yeah.
it? I think I've got like 2, and I've only got 1, and I'm nearly on my way to 2. So,
I
I
think
keep
once you've
going
got the
with that.
first one, they sort of all click in place quite quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that impression. I keep going with that. I kind of want to get the completion. I know if both of you have got it,
I'm
but
missing one achievement.
Yeah, I've got it. Are you missing the collectibles then? I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I just couldn't be asked to replay it to get the like 6 that I'm missing.
yeah, that's a Macca's guides or so for
Yeah,
getting there. That
if
point.
I'd known it was going to be that short, I would have just watched the guide the whole way through. But I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was going to be. I didn't look it up. I just saw that it was like on Game Pass. I didn't know if it was going to be a 3 hour or a 15 hour, if that makes sense. So
But it's a super chill. It's the perfect podcast game. It is just the like I can't be fucked to like seriously concentrate on a game. I'm just gonna play this, put some game mess on, and just chill out for like an hour. It's a lot better than the studio's last game, which also came to Game Pass. I've completely forgotten what it's called, but it was like a
Echo
turn.
Generation.
Yeah, it was like a
And the
turn-based
one
thing.
before that was River Bond.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played that, but yeah, much better than Echo Generation. For what I've played so far.
I think they've tweeted that it's got really been really positively received in quite a few. It's either I think it's 250,000 or 750,000. I can't remember which one of them that played it like at the launch weekend and stuff. Which obviously like you get like a Forza where like they announce like 10 million or whatever. For obviously a smaller indie that I never even heard of. I only heard of it because Games Asylum in their Discord. Jokingly, Redfall got reviewed, and he's like, "There's a better Xbox exclusive coming this week," and I was like, "Is there? What's that?" And then it was actually weirdly Ravenlock, which I played, and I didn't even know there was like you, Dave, that it was going to be in like an easy 1000G game until I finished it. It's like, oh, I've only got like 2 achievements to go. Let's go see if there's a guide. Then I looked up a Macca's guide after finishing it. I wasn't even like expecting it to be an easy 1000G game.
I also think that it might have been a case for a lot of people might have got the month for Redfall. So, and obviously they were like disappointed with Redfall, but they've still got a month of Game Pass. Why not play this other well-reviewed game, right? But
Yeah,
I think this is the first game we've all finished that's come out this year.
I've
Or
not
when you,
finished it yet,
well,
but I will. Yeah,
you'll finish it by
yeah,
tomorrow
yeah,
morning. But like, is this the first one we've all played? Might
Most
be.
probably. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Isn't that
Might be.
funny?
Strange times.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do want to get the completion. I haven't had a single completion all year yet. So I'm very much
Wow,
sucking on that.
you really have you've let yourself down, boy.
So I kind of want to like part of the reason as well why I didn't get the Star Wars because I've played so many like longer games this year and like time sinky games.
And EA games,
So,
you little
so
slut.
I kind of want to just hammer through some like smaller fun ones just to mix it up a bit. So I've got Ravenlock. I've downloaded and claimed Hoa because that was Games for Gold,
Yeah.
which is meant to be an easy completion.
You got Lana tomorrow, right? Which is supposed to be really
Yeah.
good.
I feel like there's another one which is recently. Oh, Coffee Talk. I don't know if that's an easy completion, but I think that's quite short, and I managed to pick up quite a few achievements in that as well. So I kind of want to just hammer through some indies for a bit, and then go back to some bigger kind of time sync AAA stuff.
Lovely,
But that's
boy.
it. That's it. But that's all from me from the last whatever it's been 2 weeks or.
Yeah, I think it's about a week and a half, I think, give or take. All my fault.
No.
So, but
No Switch.
No. Oh, I did turn it on.
Oh,
that really confused me as well because I saw you come up.
I
and was
turned
like,
it
what?
on for about
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Metroid Prime. Couldn't really remember the buttons. Couldn't really remember where I was. Died. Went back quite far. Turned it back off again. Put it back in the dock.
It's the curse of the Switch, that, my boy.
Yeah. That was my experience with the Switch, to be honest with you. It's kind of like, oh, I don't know. I'm at the point now with Metroid Prime where I think I've got the see in the dark goggle things.
Yeah, which you need because you get jumped a lot from this point onwards.
And by God, the game looks terrible when you have them on. Oh my goodness, it looks shit, and it's just like I don't know. I need to just like I maybe need to play that actually on a controller and just get that done, and then maybe play something better.
It suffers from one. It suffers from being a game that's 20 years old, and two, it has the thing. This is a really silly thing to say, but I know you'll go with me on this, Craigo. Is it suffers from its lack of an achievement system? Because if you were earning gamer score, you would push through a little bit more on games like that. You get a little stuck with. Because you're just like, well, I've made some progress because it's a score going, an arbitrary numbers going up. Because I'm kind of in the same place with
we got
Prime.
like here's 10G for getting the visor thing.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, now I'm gonna get the whatever the next power up is another 10G or whatever.
Because that's something that like Ravenlock does really well. So it's like you're like everything you do, you get an achievement. You're like, oh, I've made some progress with this little session. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's worth it. But yeah, I'm with you on Metroid Prime. I've played it already, and we played it for a show about 5-6 years ago. Me and Pengy. So it's like I've already replayed it quite recently. So it's like I can't see myself going back to it now, to be honest with you. So it's gonna fall into the dreaded deep dark dungeons that is the Dave Switch backlog, never to be seen again. But yeah, bless you. Well, maybe it's time, you know. Maybe the Switch will get turned on again before the end of the year, Craig. Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, before we get to Pengy and more talk about the Switch, we go to me. So I bought 2 games, Craigo, in this 10-day period. There's a story for both. So the first of all, Zelda, which I've bought. Well, and I will talk about that with Chris at the end of my section because it will go into Chris's section. And the other game. So this is the story, Craig. Are you ready for this? So my girlfriend works in a school, so she bought some pre-owned games for this school's PS4. Because they get reimbursed the money, so you know what I mean. So she just does it whenever she's here, because obviously she's with a fucking nerd, so I can tell her what's age appropriate. And this time, after she bought these games, the school is not allowing the PS4 at the moment because whatever, right? So she's gone to get them refunded. Game obviously had scumbags only give them gift card, even though she bought it 2 days ago. It's still sealed. So she was like, well, just have, you might as well have this gift card. I'm not going to use it. So I ended up buying, Craig. You ready for this? I bought Forspoken pre-owned for £7.
Fucking hell!
And do you know what's funnier than this? So when I took it to the till, my pre-owned copy of Forspoken, the bloke went, oh, 1 minute, turned around, he took out all of the pre-order bonuses for buying the game new, because he was like, we can't get rid of them, and added that on for free. So I got the gift, I got a steelbook, I've got some stickers, I think there's a poster in there, Craigo. So yeah.
Cool.
Thought that was quite funny.
That game did literally kill the studio, didn't it? So
kinda, yeah. I mean, it's been patched quite a lot since, and this is kind of.
You mean £7 with the gift card? It wasn't.
Yeah. So the gift card was £18. So I paid. Yeah. It was a £25 game. I paid £7 of my money for this game, but still, I thought it was pretty funny. It came out 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
January.
Yeah, and this is why I don't buy games for full price. This is why I don't pre-order anything. But Yeah, like I watched a video when I came back. I haven't played it yet. I watched it when I came out. I was like, oh, it's been patched. Like it's the bugs are gone. Like I wonder if it's an enjoyable game. And I know we'll talk about it some more in a bit. Haven't played it yet, so I've got no comment yet. But I did make me chuckle. It really did make me chuckle. I was like, ah, PS5 exclusive, eh? This is why you don't pre-order games. But yeah, I've got the steelbook, so when I eventually sell this game, Craigo, some crazed Square Enix fanboy will hopefully want to jump on it a bit more because I've got all these pre-order bonuses. But I did laugh when you put it was a full draw as well. I was like, oh, you poor bastard. It was only one pre-owned copy. It didn't sell enough for people to trade it in. So yeah, there was that. So that goes into the
Oh, dear.
PlayStation backlog. Obviously with Zelda, which I just got the normal edition. For 45, I think I paid for it on Amazon. But as for
That's
what
not
I've been,
bad considering it's supposed to be 60.
yeah, I think it dropped to 49.99, and I did the first time you use the Amazon pickup, you get a $5 off. So I just went and did that. I was like, it's by Morrison's. I'm obviously rehabbing my knee, and I was like, oh, that's a short walk I can do, and you know, to save a $5.
Off topic, but on topic, I was on the eShop, so that's $59.99 on the eShop.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Odyssey is like $49.99. Mario Kart 8 is $49.99. Breath of the Wild, I'm pretty sure was $59.99.
Yeah, I
Have
think
they put that game up in price?
I actually think they haven't. But it's either they haven't or they only sell the expansion edition or something now. But that game's
Yeah.
never been cheap on
Because I saw it was in
physical.
the chart, like obviously the thing, and it's like Breath of the Wild was like number 5. It's like, and Mario Kart was like number 3 or something. It's like Mario Kart's $49.99. That's 50. They put Breath of the Wild up in price because of Tears of the Kingdom.
I wouldn't be
It's like,
surprised, but
sure.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen that game drop in price physically as well. So I think that it might have been 60 anyway. But yeah, either way, that's funny. But yeah, I wonder how many more copies that sold. But yes, as for playing, so I've actually played quite a lot because obviously I've been off sick. So like Pengi, I have finished Ravenlock. I think I played it almost all the way through on chat with Craig when he was playing Ghostwire. Really fun game, really basic. Like it's women in sevens, but like it's fine. It's perfect Game Pass fodder. Like it looks it looks okay. There's some bits that I didn't like if I'd paid for it. The combat was fine. The story was fine. Like it was good. It was a fun game. Like I don't play indies, so like if I've played it all the way through to completion, it's probably a pretty good sign. But yeah, if you have Game Pass, I absolutely recommend. I probably wouldn't recommend paying money for it, to be honest with you. I think it's like 25.
£21. I just
21.
had a look
I
on
probably
Does seem
wouldn't.
quite.
No, I
If
wouldn't.
it's on Steam and it's a sale and you've got like a Steam Deck, then perfect. But like I probably wouldn't spend that kind of money on it. TBH. I've played on the Steam Deck. I've actually played a hell of a lot more Vanquish. I play about a mission a night because the game is perfectly made for handheld, which is weird because it obviously wasn't. It has this like you do like a 7-minute mission. There's 6 missions an act, and it's just like 5 acts, right? So I've just been doing like a mission or 2 a night when I'm lying in bed. I talked about it before. Like I'm going to do a video. The next Dave on Deck will absolutely be a Vanquish video, and you know, like the long and short of it is, I think Vanquish is a must play on Steam Deck. But yeah, really great game. Wish I'd played it when it came out, so that game would have had a chance at a sequel. But Platinum are doing Platinum. Platinum, interestingly, have just released some free DLC for Wonderful 101 as well, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
So I might actually pick that up in the next Steam sale that they do, because it does regularly go on sale for under a tenner on Steam. And obviously the Steam Deck is still getting played quite a lot. I've actually finished like 4 games on it this year, so loving it. Really loving the Steam Deck at the minute. We'll do another proper discussion about the handheld consoles, I think, maybe next month. But yeah, that's the Steam Deck. For Switch, I've played a bit of Zelda. We'll talk about it in a minute. That's it. Yep, we'll do the Zelda chat in a bit. And then on PlayStation, I finished. Well, I platinumed this morning. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I was really worried that I had missing trophied my way out of something, but there was a patch for that trophy, so I was able to get that this morning. And I had to do about 10 minutes of New Game Plus to buy some weapons that have been added as an update, but they count towards the all weapons trophy. So I have the full 100% completion on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and that is my 51st platinum trophy. So shout out to your boy. Still rocking up. My completion percentage has gone up again. Is actually really close to 40% now on PlayStation, which is, considering I think it was 29 last year when I did that video, Craig. So the fact that it's gone up 11% in a year is crazy to me. But yeah, it's on PS Plus Extra now. I highly recommend Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's probably the best full PS5 game I've played so far, and it's easily the best one that's exclusive to the console, because obviously God of War and Horizon and everything else is on PS4, but Ratchet and Clank isn't. If you have a PS5, it's well worth a month of extra to play Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And I think that is about it, really. Obviously, I don't count Age of Empires because we probably played 10 hours of Age of Empires in the last 2 weeks, and I've also played probably 35 hours of Football Manager. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Nothing jumping out, Craig, that I've missed there.
No, I just looked. Apparently, I've played 75 hours of Age of Empires now, according to True Achievements.
Yeah, and I'm pretty close to you because I think me and you play roughly about the same time. So
Yeah.
most nights.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's gonna get over 100. I just don't see it's too. We're playing it with my friend at the minute as well, so like we play it every week, at least 3
Is
hours.
the Rome
so.
DLC out now?
Yes, just came out, I think. I mean, I've played any of the single player, and I've not bought any of the DLC. So it's like, yeah, I haven't. There is an Xbox publisher sale at the minute, so I don't know if they have put the season pass for that on sale, because I would probably pick it up, to be honest with you, just to add a bit of flavour to my defeats. But, yeah, Age of Empires 2 is pretty great. Like I said, it was on sale for $5 on Steam Deck last week, and I ummed and ahed. If it'd been cross everything, I would have done it. If it'd been cross play and cross progression, there and then I would have done it and just used it as a practice. But yeah, great stuff. But yes, let's get on to the main event then. Chris Pengelly, what have you bought? What have you played? And at the end of the last thing you've played, we'll do the Zelda chat after everything else.
Okay. So, played on Retro, nothing. But bought Retro, I picked up Final Fantasy
Craig,
Explorers.
get the calculator.
I love how you felt you needed to clarify that you hadn't played any retro.
We all
you
know.
never play any retro, Chris.
We all know. The whole G
You're the retro kid without the actual retro. You're just a kid, aren't you, really?
You're not even a kid, he's 33.
What are you, Bengals?
The whole GNamer forum literally watches / listens to this to get to this section of the show. Is what has Chris spent this week?
We're gonna have to do this last. We're gonna have to
we got
R2 what we played, and then make them listen to us all waffle on for an hour,
right?
Yeah.
But no, if you got this far, this is your favourite person. I want you to put in our comments. I want you to comment bargain. So if you got this far, and this is the reason you came, comment bargain. So Pengi on retro.
Calculator's ready.
Calculator's ready. What have you bought and how much did you pay?
So, Final Fantasy Explorers for the 3DS.
Right, and how much did you pay?
I paid 18 quid.
Oh,
okay. Which is a bargain. Was surprisingly.
It is when you don't play
it. Yeah, so I paid 18 quid for it. I didn't know if that was a good price or not good price, and then I looked. The cheapest one bidding on eBay was £29 something, and the one like the cheapest sold one or the last sold one or whatever was £29.99. Buy it now.
Oh, it's practically money saved, Pengi.
So I could make like £12 profit,
but you won't.
No, I would just put it on the shelf and then never play it.
The dreaded shelf.
Mm.
It's kind of like going to. So you go out for dinner, Dave.
Yeah.
And you order so you're like, oh, I really fancy a steak right now. You order a nice, tasty, expensive steak. You get the sauce as well, maybe a few extras, like whatever.
Yeah, peppercorn.
And then you just look at it for a bit and go, no, I'm going home now. I'm going to pay for it and go home.
Right.
That's essentially what Chris does with video games. It's just come to me. You just kind of look at it and go, nah, I'll just.
And then in about 3 years' time, you'll decide that you no longer like looking at that meal anymore, so you're going to sell that anyway. And it was all for nothing.
Well, if I get £18 profit, you know.
What did you buy next then, Peggy?
Right, then I bought. So I was looking at the PSP section, okay? Looking at the PSP section. And in the PSP section is also UMDs. Yeah?
Yeah.
So
Universal Media Discs.
Yeah, so I picked up Advent Children on UMD.
Wow. So have you got all 3 copies of that film now?
No, the only physical version I own is the UMD
Oh.
version
The DVD
Which-
version, the Blu-rays are different, Pengy.
and the 4K version.
There you go.
Yes, I got it on UMD. Really, just sort of wanted because I got all the Final Fantasy games on PSP. So now I'm missing Spirits Within.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But
Okay.
it wasn't the only UMD I picked up, Davey.
Wait a minute, how much was the first one? Sorry.
18 quid Final Fantasy
Yeah, no,
Explorer.
but what about the first UMD?
Oh, £2.
I was going to say, if you
Okay.
paid £18 for UMD, I'm going to come to Wellington and slap your face right up.
Okay,
Oh my God.
Next, Pengy.
Yeah, so it wasn't the only UMD I picked up. So only now I own 3 UMDs. So the second one I bought was the Transformers movie.
Fucking hell.
As
Just
in not the live action, as in the like
the
80s
1980s.
cartoon movie.
Oh,
Austin,
dear.
Optimus Prime dies. Spoilers for the
Yeah.
1986.
How much is that one then,
Transformers film.
Pengy?
That one, I think he was £1.50.
Okay, so far we've got a game you won't play and 2 movies you won't watch for £21.50. Keep going, Chris.
And the other UMD I
Oh,
bought,
there's another one.
That's 3.
Good.
yeah, I did say 3, was Cowboy Bebop, the movie.
Isn't that on like Netflix and everything at this point?
Yeah, I have watched it. I think I watched it for your Netflix.
Right.
That was £2.50.
Okay.
I'm just making it easy for Craig to add it up. I mean, that's the only
Yeah, it's
positive here.
£24. Not a lot of value so far, but money spent anyway.
It's an economy crisis, cost of living. Christopher
Yeah,
Gilly.
so-
Is
So
that what
if
you
I
bought?
want, so if I want to watch some,
You don't though, so there's no need to.
Transformers,
And
No need
you
to lie.
never will.
Yeah,
do you know what would be the most?
It could be a
just-
nuclear apocalypse, and that was the only 3 things you could actually do in your little hut that you built in the middle of Wellington to save yourself from this nuclear apocalypse, and you just sit there in the dark instead.
Right. Because the PSP
Oh,
battery was exploded anyway, so you wouldn't get it.
No, what I think is more hilarious because they don't look too bad still on the PSP screen. If I plug the PSP into the TV and then try that and then watch Having Children on the TV,
Does
that
your
must be the
television
worst.
even have the inputs required for that, Pengy?
Yes, I could do that.
Has it got composite component? Is it composite?
Yeah, I've got the component PSP thing, so I could plug it in with those 5.
I meant has your your TV's got component on it, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a rare
So
thing
I could-
nowadays. So you could do. You won't. Obviously, you won't, because that would make you a madman. But
Yeah, because that'd be like the worst. Unless it came out on, I can't remember if it was out on VHS.
anyway, what else have you bought, Pengy?
Right. So that was the retro section. Okay.
Okay.
That was retro. Played nothing, bought 3. Okay.
4.
No, it was 3.
You bought 3 DVDs, 3 UMDs, and a game.
Oh yeah, sorry, 4.
Maths.
Sorry.
Maths with Dave.
Right. So then on the Xbox, bought nothing
Obviously.
and played Ravenlock through Game Pass, which we've already talked about. Very enjoyable game. Definitely like a high 6, low 7 sort of game. Very good Game Pass stuff. Very good, like I think palette cleanser game I would call it, between big, 2 big games and whatever, which it kind of was, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
So that's Xbox. Then on Switch, I guess I'll leave the one, but I will tell pickups. So the pickups on Switch. First one, I did buy something in double discount. And that was Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So I picked that up on the Switch. I've played and finished the Bowser's Fury part, and I've already sold that game since we have done the podcast. So I've bought it, played it, finished it since we've done the last podcast.
Okay.
Really good bit of content back on Bowser's Fury. It reminds me a lot of Sunshine. I don't know, because like in Sunshine you're finding sunshines, now you're finding cat shines, you got Bowser Jr. with you. You got all like the goo and stuff, which obviously was in Sunshine. So it reminds me of that a lot, and obviously I love Sunshine, and so that was pretty good. I think it's like 5-6 hours, so it's like a decent chunky sort of, I don't know, expansion. I don't know what you really call it, because it's not DLC, because it's with Baz's. It's with 3D World.
Lovely.
I don't know if you want to add that to your calculator and then minus it back off, Craig.
I don't know. Dave, am I adding it in?
We're already 30 minutes in. Let's just carry on with what else he's bought.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was one thing I bought on Switch. Had I played Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed last podcast?
I feel like
I
yes.
think you had, yeah.
Okay, so I played that. That was great. That's what I was saying, sort of like the Ravenlock, the Planet Kenza sort of game, because like that was like 18 hours, then it's short, and then planning to play a big game after Ravenlock. I think I would have finished Coffee Talk last
Yeah,
one because I did the video. So there's that on Switch. I also picked up on Switch. Well, not technically like Switch. The Link Tears of the Kingdom amiibo.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna add let's just add the 150 in now. Okay.
I don't think it was 100. I don't know actually know how much it was for Zelda. So I got the Link amiibo. It's pretty cool. He's gone with all the other Link amiibos because there's mainly Link amiibos. It's like 20 of them. But we've only got 2 Princess Zeldas. Doesn't seem right. No, sorry, we got 3 Princess Zeldas. I'm wrong. I just spotted the 3rd one. So there's that. There's the Pro Controller. Picked up the Pro Controller, the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Pro Controller, which is pretty good. Pretty good controller thing, and then obviously Tears of the Kingdom, the collector's edition.
Do we reckon it's more than 150 quid?
I don't know how much can't remember how much the collector's edition costs, to be honest.
It could well be, but I think we can make it 150. It doesn't make Chris any less comical.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It could have been worse. I could have bought the OLED and the case.
That is your bar. That is how. I think you can. Didn't you have to cancel it because you were thinking about it?
I was thinking about it, and then
Yeah.
I cancelled the OLED, and it's like, yeah, that's a lot of money for an OLED Iona. It doesn't look that nice.
But yeah, so that's the bought. Did you buy? You've still got to talk about anything you've bought and played on PlayStation. Do you want to do that first before we step into the Zelda chat?
So on PlayStation, I bought nothing, but I started Forspoken.
Did you already have that?
Yeah, I bought it in launch.
Did you? How much did you pay for it?
Well, actually, I got it for my birthday. So
God.
it came out on the 24th, and my birthday is 28th of January. So I had it for my birthday. So it's been on the shelf for like almost 6 months.
Yeah, that sits in the what I like to call the Dave Backlog of death that would be God of War Ragnarok that I have literally never put in the console. It's been there for months. But yeah.
Yeah.
So Forspoken, Pengy.
Yeah, I started that yesterday, and I'm actually surprisingly, maybe not surprised, I'm liking it so far, considering also like the reviews that it's like, oh, it doesn't get going to about 10 hours in or chapter 10. I can remember something to do with 10, and it was like, I think there's 12 chapters, so maybe it's chapter 10 or 10 hours. So I'm like 6 hours in to it, and then like the story has been, going along quite nicely. The story bit, I can get the dialogue criticisms, like Freya swears like every single sentence for like no reason, but like running around with the parkour is pretty cool. The cuff you've got on your hand reminds me quite a lot of Grimoire Vice from Nier, especially how they talk and perceive the world and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that. The combat's pretty fun as well. Good use of the triggers on the dual sense. Yeah, I'm playing the performance mode. I did turn on the other 2 modes to see what it looks like. I couldn't really tell much difference between the resolution and the RT mode. It does look better, but I went back to the 60 frames, especially seeing how quickly you're running around that world. And the story so far seems pretty good, even though it's going to go pretty much big evil, go defeat big evil. You've got, you're the powered one, that sort of Dorian, it is like an isekai. You know, your regular person going into like the fantasy world, and you've got all the powers. But yeah, so far pretty fun.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I've also, because I picked up Forspoken myself, and I've not really paid any attention to it beyond its initially terrible review. So I'm low key also kind of intrigued to play it and see what I think of my own two thoughts. And I have this, that's my exact same opinion for Redfall as well. Like when they eventually patch Redfall enough to be 60, I'll go in it with completely fresh eyes as well, kind of the same as Forspoken. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that you enjoy it. I will say, if the swearing annoys you, I will prepare yourself for Final Fantasy 16, because all the previews that come out today are very similar in terms of doesn't run tremendously well and has a lot of swearing in it. So I wonder if
Yeah.
that's the new
No, it's just
new angle for
like
Square Enix.
yeah, like the swearing like fine. It's just like every sentence, and it's like yeah, I can kind of get the issues. Like yeah, you're using that over and over again where you should be used for like something more dramatic or whatever.
Indeed. So Forspoken
So
all
how
aside,
much was Forspoken? Sorry, I completely
he bought
backed
it
out.
months ago.
I got it for
Oh,
my birthday.
oh, of course you did. Yeah, yeah.
Got it launched.
Yeah.
But so not in the balance sheet, not into this year's accounts, Krieger.
No.
So we're okay.
Okay.
No.
April to
Yeah,
April.
the new fiscal year started on April 1st.
Right, so
Great.
and that's all the Pengals always goes for the net profit trophy, as we know. So
That's why I said if you wanted to add Mario and then deduct it or whatever right away.
we'll speak to our accountant after the show, Chris. There's no need
Yeah.
to worry about it right now. So the other thing, obviously, you've played, and obviously the thing you spent 150 plus pounds on, is the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom for the Nintendo Switch. So Chris Pengelly,
Yeah.
people have been bated breath for your what I presume we're now going to call review of
I don't know if you call it a review because I've not finished the game.
I
I know.
mean, I feel like you could probably give a pretty good opinion.
Yeah, because I have played over 20 hours of the game,
Yeah.
so it's not like I've played like 5 minutes of it. And I know going back years and years ago, I played a game called Chasing Dead on the Wii U, which I reviewed, which was unplayable. It's the worst game I've ever played. And I reviewed that because I couldn't finish it because it was actually unplayable and the worst thing like I said, I've play. Well, this.
But anyway, less
different
about
matter.
Chasing Dead, more about
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, Peggy.
No, I was just using that as an example of
Yeah.
something. Yes. What would you like to know about Tears of the Kingdom?
your opinion of it, Chris. That's
Yeah. You know, like how we talk about games and then we talk about our opinions of them afterwards. You've been doing this show for a couple of years now. I mean,
Well,
you and Dave have been doing it for years before that.
literally
So
been me and
pretty
you've been doing
much
this
just that was the
for
thing,
over
I guess,
6
really.
years, Chris. Maybe even 7 years, I think. You've been doing this podcast. So what's your opinion? Stop avoiding the inevitable angry comments we're going to get anyway.
It's better than Breath of the Wild.
Okay, so I mean you can go into more depth, Penky. You did used to write reviews for video games.
Yeah, that's a positive, isn't it? Yeah, let's start with the positive. It's better than Breath of the Wild. We go for that. Other positive, the art style was still pretty good. That's a positive. Yeah. Then it's just pretty boring, isn't it? You just walk around, go to a shrine, do that shrine. It looks the same as the shrine that you done 10 minutes ago. And you go do another shrine, and it's gonna look the same. Then you're gonna climb a tower and open the map. And yeah, what's this? A Ubisoft game?
Oh,
Sad times.
Chris Figelli.
I will say, I will
then-
say about Chris. We normally slate him for his opinions and how he flip flops. I do kind of appreciate how he's like, yeah, this is just more Tears of the Kingdom, but I didn't like. This is more Breath of the Wild. Sorry, I don't like Breath of the Wild, so I don't like this. I do kind of appreciate that, Chris.
It is consistent, if
Yeah,
nothing
'cause-
else.
Yeah, which
'cause
is normally not something you can say about Chris Pingelly.
You were both saying, "Oh, this I'm gonna love this," and you couldn't wait to go back to the old episode and clips on that. But yeah, like I said, it is better than Breath of the Wild. The shrines this time I do sort of prefer. I don't know. I like the They do all look the same again, like they did in. They don't look the same as the ones in Breath of the Wild, but all the ones in Tears of the Kingdom look the same. They all got like this clean white art style instead of like the silvery blue. So that does get like after you've done 20 of them, they do all look the same. I have found the puzzles. I did find the puzzles as that more interesting this time. I don't know if because the abilities Link's got compared to Breath of the Wild are more interesting, and some of them like you bodge things together with the whole fuse things, and it's like, look, I've made this silly, really long bridge to get this ball across the the canyon. Oh, someone else used to rock it. It is, but then that only like the novelty after 20 hours is like worn off. Like there's only so many times I could stick a ball to a rocket and fire over a canyon, sort of thing.
Very nice.
Then they said in the interview there was going to be dungeons. They're not dungeons. It's temples. The two I've only done two because, like I said, I've not finished the game. The two that I've done look the same and basically the same objective. Remember the divine beasts in Breath of the Wild? All look the same and all had the same objective. Yeah, you remember that, Dave? You remember that? Yeah.
Don't know why you're attacking me, Peng. Yeah, I like Breath of the Wild.
That's why I'm attacking you. You like Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Princess
So-
Zelda. Princess Zelda's still really annoying. Link! Link! At least Matthew Martha, is decent as Ganon. That's something, I guess.
Oh, I love it. So when this first came out, you weren't like that hot on it, but you were like, oh, it's a low 8, and I'll see if it gets any better. And then I didn't tilt you about it for a few days, and then you were like, I've given up on it. Did it? I'm guessing it's got worse than a low 8 in your mind.
I don't know, because I did finish Breath of the Wild. I say that's a 7 out of 10 game. But this has got better. Like they have improved stuff. Like the weapons still break, but when it goes, this sword is going to break. You can go attach a rock to it and make a club and stuff like that. So they've kind of fixed that issue without not fixing that issue. And like I said, I do prefer the shrines. It's just like, do I want to play? I've played 20 hours. That's like 10 hours of temple. I know there's 3 more temples to do. Do I want to play another 30 hours of a 7 out of 10 game? Not really. When I've just played like Ravenlock, a 7 out of 10 game, which is like 2 hours long or whatever. Or like you could say, Forspoken's might be a 7 out of 10 game. That's only like 10, 15 hours long. So, if I'm going to put 50 hours into a game like a Fire Emblem Games this year, or, I think I've played with the DLC and obviously the main game is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I think that's 90 hours. That's like a 9 out of 10 game. That is like worth playing the 90 hours worth on, that's the third best game I've now played on the Switch, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where I'm like, I can't be bothered to play that much of that sort of game.
Fair enough. Well, to flip before we get into the PlayStation showcase, obviously I'll give my opinion of what I've played. I've played about 4 hours so far of Tears of the Kingdom, and I really liked Breath of the Wild. I think it's my 12th favorite game of all time in the list that we were doing. We're going to do an episode later in the year. And I probably, if we're going to score it, I probably think it's about a 9.5 out of 10. It's not perfect because nothing is. But I liked it. And Tears of the Kingdom is just more of it. Like it's the most sequel Nintendo game I've ever played. Like it's more of a sequel than Pokemon Gold to Red, to be honest. But yeah, I think Chris is right in many ways that it just does stuff that Breath of the Wild did, but better. Like it looks better, it runs better. Having the underground and the overground sky bits adds a bit of flavor to the world, but it's just not a game for Chris Pengelly. And what I mean by that is the way you enjoy this game is you lose yourself in it and you play it for 70, 80, 100 hours, and it's like almost like a platform where you just do stuff and there's always little things to do, and it's the fuse mechanic lets you kind of do whatever you want, and all the powers are really interesting and all that kind of thing, and I think it does it really well, and I think it's way more puzzly than the last game. I think the combat is it's massively improved by having the fuse mechanic, just adds a flavor to it, and I just think that it's a better version of that game, but it is still basically the same game. So if you like one, you will like this. But equally, it's not going to have the fresh feeling that Breath of the Wild had, because when Breath of the Wild came out, it was very much a unique game. There's been lots of games like Breath of the Wild since Breath of the Wild, so that's kind of my sort of fair standing on it. My main issue with the game is that it's on the Switch. I freaking hate playing the Switch because the Joy-Cons are awful and I hate them, and I haven't got my Split Pad Pros for some reason. I can't find them, so I'm having to play handheld on with the Joy-Cons, and I literally think they're trash. Like, they're the worst controller in the world. So other than that, it's great. Playing it on the
You
TV
do
is
know the
great.
6-axis exists, yeah?
It's worse than the 6-axis, because at least the 6-axis had big buttons and sticks. It was just made of air, and there was no games to play with it because PS3 was awful at the beginning. But like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my main issue. It's nothing to do with the game. The game is great. If the game, you know, was like when I play the game on the television, it looks fine, runs okay. Like, I have no worries. And I would recommend it to anyone who, one, has played Breath of the Wild. And to be honest with you, I don't think you need to play Breath of the Wild to play this. I think a lot of people have been like, oh, you do. The entire story of Breath of the Wild is told within about 10 minutes of the game. There's enough context. You know what I mean? So I don't think
Yeah,
you
they
actually
kind of
need to play.
blaze quite over the events of
Yeah, it's
Breath
just
of the
it
Wild.
does the Metroid thing where you go from being fully powered to not. Like, it's good context to know Breath of the Wild 1, but I don't think you need to play Breath of the Wild to play this. And this is the better game. So I think if you have a Switch and you want to play a single player game on that Switch, I would highly recommend Zelda
Why
to at least
Xenoblade
try.
Chronicles 3? Yes.
No, unless you're into big anime titties, I will never recommend Xenoblade. And Xenoblade has one of the most awful to understand battle systems if you like fun. But then it's weird to me that you like Xenoblade but don't like this, because other than it being constant anime, I don't see much difference in the games. They're just big open worlds where you do the same thing. But it's like, it's different. It's a different combat system and whatever, right? Apples to oranges. But and obviously I don't have, like, my issue with it being called Zelda. It's still the same genre as Ocarina of Time. It's just it's not the exact same formula as Ocarina of Time. Like, it's still pretty much the same. There's still a MacGuffin. There's still a big boss. You still have third-person action combat. You still have the Master Sword. Like, you're still saving Zelda. Like, it's exactly the same as Ocarina of Time, but the way you get to the MacGuffins is different. I get the lack of traditional dungeons, but I also understand why they couldn't do dungeons, because it doesn't fit with the game. Like, there's no point getting a hook shot and doing this. Like, it's not the same game. Like, that's a game from 20, 30 years ago. Like, they can't just make the same game over and over again. It just doesn't work. It's never worked. You can't look at any franchise and it stays exactly the same, especially single player games. Like, Mario's had to evolve, like Metroid's had to evolve, Castlevania had to evolve. Like, all these, Halo has died because it hasn't evolved. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't make Ocarina of Time again all the time and it be successful. And like, these are the two most successful Zelda games. Like, we are gonna get another one of these games that's going to be bigger and better and more crazy. Like, and hopefully they decide to throw the Pengleses of the world a bone and make a smaller game, probably a top-down game, and that plays like that, and it plays like a handheld experience, because now it's all combined. But like, that's kind of my understanding of it. I think with what the Switch is, this is the best Zelda you could have hoped for. I just don't think the Switch has the power to do the extra like 10% that I think people like Chris probably need, if that makes sense. Like, better voice acting, more story cutscenes. Like, I just don't think the Switch has that in it, and then have a game like Tears of the Kingdom that is so open and so physics based. But yeah, I like it so far. I want to get back to it. I finished Breath of the Wild. I'll finish this. Will I get everything? Like, I probably won't do all the Koroks, but like, I'll get as much of the side quests done as I can. And side quests are a lot better in this as well. Like, it feels more witchery in side quests. Like, they feel like side quests. They're not just tick boxes, which is cool. Again, you have to go looking for them. So if you're just mainline storing it, like, you're really not going to get the experience that the developers want. But it is a long game. So yeah, that is my 2 pence on Zelda. Craig, any comments on our thoughts before we move on to the topic of the show?
No, not really. It does look a lot like the first one. I don't know. For those like a little bit where I was like, oh, maybe I should play Breath of the Wild, so I can play this and be part of the conversation and all that. And I just haven't got the will to play it. To be honest with you,
It's
just like, oh, I
you
just
you
can't
need
be bothered.
such a break in time that it's one of those where if you were like, right, Dave, I've got 50 hours and there's nothing else I want to play. I want to just play on my Switch. I got 50 hours. I'd still probably recommend Pokemon Scarlet before I'd recommend this, because I
Yeah,
think for
I
a
just
50-hour
look at like
experience
Breath of
that
the
looks better.
Wild,
But
and I'm like, oh, it's an open world game, and I'm like,
mhm.
oh, I could play that, and I'm like, oh, but I kind of like look at something like Hogwarts Legacy, is just an example. I'm like, oh, I think I'd rather play that. Just
Yeah,
looks more appealing, looks more interesting to me.
and I completely get that. Like, it's not. I don't agree with the high scores this has got, purely because how similar. I mean, I don't really agree with any high scores, to be honest with you, but I just think it's
I was surprised how
that.
high it got, but then I thought back to God of War 2018 to God of War Ragnarok. I didn't think Ragnarok would got a higher score as it did because it's pretty similar, and then
No,
it
but
did.
it's
So I can see why
yeah.
this has also got pretty high
I
again.
I think I think you
That's the
can't
nearest
trust
game I can
reviews
compare it to.
because big company reviewers have guidelines, so they can't turn around and be like, well, we've just said in a 10-minute video that it's better in every way than God of War, and then give it a lower score than God of War. They've written themselves in a corner by having God of War. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, I get that. Like, it's
Yeah.
one of those things I always say. Find a reviewer or a streamer or whatever, a friend that has a similar taste of games of you, and then watch them and see what they think. Because, like, so for us, so like for Craig, it would be Ray, right? So if Ray likes a game, there's a good chance Craig is going to like that game. If Ray hates that game, there's a good chance Craig's going to hate it. And I think that is the way to go on it. But yeah, like, it's if you're on Nintendo and you're a Nintendo guy or gal, you like Zelda or you like those type of games, then yeah, it's great. But whatever, right? But anyway, moving on from Nintendo, boys, because fuck Nintendo, we don't care. Till they make Mario Kart 9 or F-Zero, we're not interested anymore.
Mm.
Wick, there's a
Can't wait for
PlayStation.
Pikmin 4 now.
Right.
Pikmin 4 is next
Well,
one.
that's July. We'll talk about that in July, Pinky. But
Mm.
Wednesday, there is a PlayStation showcase. So as
Yeah.
we're already 52 minutes in, we're going to do some rapid fire predictions. We always do predictions for the shows.
A showcase in 2 years.
First showcase in 2 years, and time flies when you're barely turning on your PS5. Although I am the PlayStation fanboy of the program, as the one who turns on the PlayStation the most. So we're going to do 5 predictions each. We have to be specifics. We're not just gonna say, for example, they will show Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. We have to give more context than that, and we're gonna have to put dates on shit because we need to make it Hail Marys all the time, boys. Okay, because that's how it's fun. And then we're going to have our over and under for PSVR 2. So we're going to start with the over and under, boys. Okay? Are we okay?
Yes.
PlayStation VR 2 games. New game announcements. We're going to talk about here. So nothing previously known. Just new game announcements. Over or under 3.5. The 0.5 is for a mode added into a game. Craig Warren. Over, under, exact.
Under.
Under 3.5. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Chris Pengelly. Over, under, exact.
As it's got to be new, so I presume if we see
So new to PSVR 2.
Firewall.
So
If
if
we see Firewall,
Firewall has
then
already been known, that was in the last whatever they showed. So if, for example, a new game to the platform would be Half-Life Alyx.
I will go under 3.5.
I love the lack of faith. I am going to go over. I think there will be 4
I think
new
we will
games
get
to
like
platform shown.
Fireball shown. That will. I feel that's gonna be like the big PSVR exclusive shown. Obviously, we already know what that is.
And then this is a new. I'm adding this on the fly. This is a yes or no, Craig. Will Chris Pengelly turn on his PSVR 2 and play a game on it in the month of June following this showcase? Yes or no?
No.
Chris Pengelly, will you turn on and play a game to completion to finish on the PSVR 2 between now and the end of June?
You say Craig. It's different to what you gave Craig.
It's not. It's the same with more words, right?
Yeah, because you did it now. I could go turn it on tomorrow.
Okay. Well, from the showcase to the end to June, through June is what I said to you, Craig, on it.
You know what he means. You're making this
Yeah,
more
you're
difficult than it needs to
just
be.
always making this difficult. It makes my life difficult.
No.
I also go no. Right,
Right,
let's
I'm going
get.
to add a third one quickly
Okay.
because this was going to be one of my predictions, but fuck it, as we're doing this. Will Chris Pengelly sell his PSVR 2 within a month after the showcase? Yes or no? Dave?
No.
I'm going yes. Angles?
No.
Okay.
It will get sold this year, but not then.
Okay.
Right, prediction time. We know our rules. We've done this enough times. So let's start with Mr. Bullshit. Chris Pengelly, prediction number 1.
Honkai Star Rail will be shown, and it is out now.
I
Okay.
know what you just said. Okay.
So it's coming out.
It could be
it'll be
out. Well, it could be out tomorrow. It'd be like it's out 6 o'clock US time or something. So it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning for us on the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
day.
We'll
You know
give
what I
you
mean.
that, Pinky. We'll give you that. That's fine.
So Shadow
Yeah.
Drop. Okay. Craig Warren.
Yeah, the chat.
So that was the only prediction I actually really had here, boys, was that one. I'll be honest. That was I've blown my load completely.
Nice.
So I'm just going for bullshit fucking third party. I know nothing about first party fucking PlayStation. They really care. So I go for bullshit third party. Capcom normally do something at these shows, right?
Oh yeah.
What's that fucking horror game that Capcom announced years ago we've not heard anything about?
Eat down.
Pragmata.
That's it. How did Dave get that? Not Pengles.
I'm the PlayStation
You said
fanboy.
horror. You said horror. So
I thought this was a horror game. I don't know.
Um,
Anyway, Pragmata. That will get shown and be dated for next year.
They've already
Oh,
done a
no.
delay video saying it's this year, so I suspect they'll do another one with the little girl, scribbling out 2023 this time and putting 2024.
Yeah, you go. That's a prediction, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
I predict a riot. No, I predict that the Last of Us factions multiplayer game will not only be shown, will not only come out this year, but the beta will be live through the bank holiday weekend that is coming up.
No chance.
You got to throw the Hail Marys, Craig. You got to throw
at the Game Awards. They were like, "Oh, here's a bit of concept art. That's what we've got, isn't it?"
I got faith. Okay, I want it to be interesting.
I don't even think that's next year. I feel like that's like
It's got to
2025.
come out this year. Pengy, number 2.
Next one. Castlevania is shown, and it is what Blue Point has been working on.
Do we get a date?
How specific do you want?
Let's go year.
2024.
Let's go year.
2024.
Okay, Castlevania Blue Point 2024. Love it.
I even go further than this. I'm gonna maybe upset you, Dave.
You
And it
want
sort
to
of upsets me. It's going to be not quite proper Souls like. It's going to be a Jedi Fallen Order type Souls.
I mean, Lords of Shadow was just God of War, so why not, right?
That's why. Yeah, it's going to be like that, but more as in the Fallen Order. Like if you play as Alucard, I don't know who you're going to play as. You've only got his sword, for instance.
You better be a Belmont.
Or if you're playing as a but Alucard, but if you're playing as a Belmont, you have a whip or something, and you can upgrade your whip a bit like you do your lightsabers and stuff. But I'm going, it's going to be like a Soulsy type thing. Hence why Blue Point are making it.
Okay. Craig Warren, number 2.
Square sucks Sony's dick, don't they?
Often, and with great consistency.
That Final Fantasy game that's the remake Part 2 thing.
Rebirth.
That Penguins wants to be this year.
Nah.
Won't be this year, it'll be next year.
That's the safest bet we've got so far, but I will allow.
I mean, just give it to me, Dave. I've got nothing yet.
Yeah,
I've got nothing.
I've got nothing left. My number 2 prediction. I believe that they will show a teaser for the next Astro game, and it will not be a VR game.
Boo.
And
I mean, surely that's a good thing because surely you're actually play it if it's not VR.
No,
it will be
because
my game of whatever year it comes out if they don't.
Mm.
Pengy.
No, because we want something to play on the VR.
Pengy.
That's why.
No, you
Right.
don't.
Okay. The next one. Uncharted will come back.
That was my next one.
It will be made. I'm gonna wait. I haven't actually got this round. I'm gonna even more of it by Sony Bend, and Cassie will be the lead.
What year? Will they attach a year, Pengy?
Most probably 2024 again.
Okay.
They mostly go like Castlevania Spring 2024 and Uncharted like Winter 2024 and something like that. But what's what? I don't. Yeah.
Craigo,
Konami are a thing again, aren't they?
allegedly.
That Silent Hill game, the remake of whatever it was,
Silent Hill 2.
that
Yeah.
one.
Mm.
That will get shown. That would be next year, not this year, like Pengals wants.
A Silent Hill 2 delay. Okay. By team.
Was it ever this
By
year? I
Bloober
don't
Team.
know.
I think it was supposed to be this
Mm.
year.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. What do we think of PlayStation? What do PlayStation make?
You could you Uncharted again and say not someone else is making
No,
it.
I'll leave you Uncharted, Pengy. That's fine. There will be a 1 minute 30 or longer trailer for the Gran Turismo movie. Somewhere in the middle of this for no reason.
It's the break at half an hour mark or something.
For some reason, they will do it. They will put in the Gran Turismo movie trailer in this thing.
And everyone will pretend to care. I
Right.
like that.
Got Orlando Bloom in it, Craig. Pengy.
Me again, yeah. Oh, I don't know if I can read. I guess I'm still going to go for. There will be over, and I'm actually going to go higher than I originally put. 5 Square Enix games shown.
That's a safe bet.
Well, I don't know. It seems excessive
Well, they'll show
amount.
16. They'll show
That-
Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have some fucking awful ass 2.HD something or other. They'll have some sort of farming
They
game.
have Dragon Quest
And they'll
3
have-
HD or something.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
Yeah, I say it's safe, but they could have their own show of that many, and would that also the play? It's an hour long, and if we get 4 Final Fantasies, because obviously remaster and 9, Rick Tactics remaster and 9 remake were both on the Nvidia leaked list as well. So you could have Tactics remaster, 9 remake, Rebirth, and 16, and that just seems overkill. Kingdom Hearts 4 as well. There's lots of Square stuff they could show. It's just seems like they could have their own show, but yeah, over 5. I originally went 3, but I thought let's go slightly more balls.
I don't think I would have allowed 3. I feel like
Mm.
there's always at least fucking 10
It'd
of
be
these
3 Final
fucking
Fantasies, let alone.
shitty
Square
Square
Enix.
Enix. Yeah.
And none of them
yeah.
will be Sleeping Dogs 2.
Mm.
Gregor.
What can I will into existence, boys?
You could think Capcom, I guess.
You love a bit of Capcom.
Yeah, I could do.
What do you want announced for Xbox that will come to both?
Yeah. Just Gran Turismo 6 will be something. I don't know.
I mean,
No
Gran
date.
Turismo 7 just came out, so I suspect.
No, sorry, Grand Theft Auto. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I was going to say,
the Gran
I
Turismo
would suspect
movie.
that poor Gran Turismo 6 is probably not in the cards.
R.I.P.
Right.
Yeah, Gran Turismo 6.
Grand Theft Auto
It's not
6.
Grand Theft Auto 6. That's not going to happen, is it?
No,
But
they
who knows?
they work to their own tune, but we'll.
Oh yeah, they
We'll,
don't need anyone else's money. They fucking print their own, baby.
Right. Okay, Craig's lost it at this point. You've actually lost my train of thought by how much you've lost it.
Yeah, you're number 4, Dave. I think it is.
My number 4, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Will be dated for. There's 2 months here. I'm going to choose from. When Starfield come out, Craig? September.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It will be dated for September this year. Spider-Man 2.
Solid.
Yeah. Solid.
Right.
That's a lock.
It's a lock. That's a lock.
Yeah, that seems too like predictable. Oh, Dave.
No, he's given a month. He's
I've
given
given a month. They've only ever shown one trailer that was at a CG.
Yeah, but
That's all they've ever.
Is it Todd, who's doing
They-
Venom's voice, basically said September.
They have not shown anything of that game, Chris. I think it's okay. Craigo, 2-1. Are we okay with it?
Yeah, I'm happy with
Good
that.
lad. Right, Pengy, your last pick.
This is gonna shock you, right? Because I think most people will think it's gonna be here, but my prediction it's not here. There is no Death Stranding 2.
But not even a trailer.
Nope, I don't think it's here. I think it's at Summer Game Fest. I think
Oh,
Healy will have it locked down.
I think they'll have both, mate. I think he loves the sound of his own voice. Just Koji.
Yeah, if nothing else, his little weird face will come up on the screen. He'll say some nonsense, and you're all jizz your pants. That's.
Well,
Can that be a prediction? Is that my number 5?
Chris will ejaculate in his own pants. I mean, again, it's a lock, isn't it? Really?
So I'm going. No, Death Stranding's not here. It's gonna be obviously at some Game Fest. Plus, remember when some Game Fest is on, Kojima's in the United States for a start. He's at Tribeca Game Festival in New York. So I think he's going to be doing the rounds then, not now, which will be a shock to most people because I think it's been on most people's predictions. I think that Death Stranding will be there, but I don't. Especially if there's Konami stuff, I don't know if there's going to be like a weird stuff with that as well. So no Death Stranding 2.
Craigo.
Something that could be sensible. I don't know.
I tried to give you like clues with like Capcom.
Some sort of Resident Evil 4 DLC will be announced.
Ooh, I don't see it. I'll be honest, I don't see it, but
I don't. But I wanted something to say, Dave. All right, just let me have it, mate.
I think you could safely say that something Resident Evil will be shown. I think that would be allowed. I think I'd allow that from you.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Resident Evil. They will always see Resident Evil. They've always got a Resident Evil for some reason, just in their back pocket.
They just seem to just bash them out now, don't they?
Right. My final prediction for this. So my theory as to why they're doing this now and why they're doing it at all is they're going to do the PlayStation thing where they show teasers for things so far out, but purely to get the fanboys sucking dick and saying how bad Xbox is.
And they're going to say they're all next year.
Yeah, and then they won't
come out. None of them will be. And then we'll completely forget when they did this. When did they do this? 2021?
2015 they did it. 2021 they did it.
Yeah, there was going to be like 5
remember,
amazing first-party
Knights of the Old
games.
Republic remake? Remember that?
Yeah, they were all dated for that year.
No,
I sat here, Pegbles. I sat here on this podcast. I said they wouldn't come out.
Remake.
You know, they wouldn't come out that year.
And so, with that being said,
yeah, but how's Silk Song going? Oh wait, that's not out on Xbox. Oh, how's Forza Motorsport? How's Forza Motorsport on Xbox? Oh, it's not out. So they all do.
I have no idea what you're on about, Peng.
Chris is attacking Xbox for showing something a year in advance instead of 3. But anyway, I'm not getting into fanboy wars. Chris, I'm the PlayStation fanboy, not you. You're the Nintendo.
Anyway,
fanboy.
I don't even remember what your prediction was. Something about something's not coming out. What's not coming out, Dave?
I'm going to predict, and this is why you all interrupted me. They're gonna have a dick sucking moment, okay? So everyone thinks the dick suck moment is gonna be Metal Gear Solid, right? That's what everyone thinks because that's what everyone thinks going in, or everyone thinks it's gonna be Uncharted, and everyone thinks it's gonna be something we know. Their dick sucking moment is not going to be an IP that we know. It will be a new IP, and it will be from Cory Barlog at Santa Monica, and that will be announced with a teaser. It will just be CG, and there will be no date. That is going to be the thing. If you want a bit of flavor, everyone it's got this weird theory that it's going to be sci-fi because he's always wanted to make sci-fi. So why not?
And he's been cryptic tweets and stuff, hasn't he?
Right. So I think so. He's the God of War director, Craig. Obviously, I know who that is, but yeah. But yeah, that is what we think. Have we got any? So that's the ones that are locked in. That's what the points are for. Is there any random ones people want to add in? I want to add in that.
So there's no date on the Corey
No,
Barlog?
nothing at all. Like not even a
Okay.
year. So if there's a year,
I
I
didn't
don't
know
get a
if
point.
you were going to say it's 2024. No, we don't get
No,
it.
I
Till
think
like
there's too many
2026.
things. I think you've all, like you've all the games you guys have mentioned. You've still got Wolverine. They've got to give a date to eventually, and it's Insomniac, so it will come out, but it will probably be next year. But yeah,
Yeah, I
if
can't see him. With Spider-Man September, I'm like, why
my
would you even put
my Hail
Wolverine out?
Mary that's not going to get me any points, and I don't want this counted, is that we see Sunset Overdrive.
Because it's a sequel.
Yeah, I think we'll see
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive in some way, shape, or form. I believe that Insomniac now owns the rights to the first game, so
It was even, I'm pretty sure, like a trademark, like a Sunset Overdrive, like a Toxic Edition or something like that
yeah.
years ago.
I think you will see Sunset Overdrive this time. Insomniac can do whatever they want,
Mm.
and I'll buy it again because Sunset Overdrive's great.
Yeah, you can get the platinum.
All right, but yeah,
Mm.
are we happy with these things, boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Craig's
And
set an alarm to watch it 'cause he's really excited.
Mm.
Wednesday
When
night.
is it?
Wednesday night,
9
9
o'clock.
p.m. 9 till 10.
Yeah.
You'll have to take a break from Age of Empires, Craig, on Wednesday.
Like a bit background music, I guess.
You're right.
Yeah. See, the one I was trying to hint to Craig for Capcom, Monster Hunter, I guess, could be here.
No.
What?
too
Why?
soon.
Why now?
It's too
Monster Hunter
soon.
World 2. They have 2 teams.
Yeah, but some breaks
They have
only
the
just
World
come
Team.
out on PlayStation, and I think
Yeah,
that's
but they have the World Team and the Rise Team.
yeah, but I
They
think
could.
that's I just think that they don't care that much to show it at a PlayStation thing. I think they do their own thing. I think that's more likely to be at like a Game Awards.
Yeah, actually, Game Awards in December and then comes out next year or
Yeah,
something.
I just
That
think
kind of makes
I
sense.
think there's too many games coming out now for people to be like random. If you're gonna get a Capcom random announcement, it will be Dino Crisis.
Could be.
And like I said,
You're right,
if you're gonna get a random Square remake, it will be Parasite Eve. Like that is
Mm.
that is the fan base, and that's what they want. Another one, a random one I think you could see is I think if Bend is not making Uncharted, they're making Siphon Filter. I don't know why on else would they be putting out all the Siphon Filter games with such
Mm.
regularity on PS Plus if there wasn't
Yeah.
going to be the same with Everybody's Golf and Ape Escape. Like they're putting spin-offs, everything is on PS Plus, but you
Yeah.
can't play like random bigger franchises that they own. Like you can't play any
Yeah.
Killzone game, for example.
The one with I went for Ben because obviously there was like people left that studio and there was rumors that they were told to make an Uncharted game and the like people
Yeah.
heads didn't want to make an Uncharted game,
Mhm.
so they've got to be making something. And if you remember when PlayStation started doing the advert, like PlayStation 5s are now available
Yeah,
to
there's an
actually
Uncharted thing
buy.
there, but I just don't
There's an
think it's
Uncharted
I just don't think it's Bend.
with a girl, which I'm presuming is going to be Cassie.
Yeah,
So
I just don't think it's Bend, and it's not necessarily Uncharted. It could just be another Tomb Raider.
it could be another Tomb Raider, I guess. But it just, I think it was all first party that was shown, apart from 16 in that trailer.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, you could also see
there's-
lots of games from the Horizon team. Like you could see a multiplayer
Mm.
game, a sequel.
yeah, that's rumored as well.
Yeah, you could see
they
Ghost of Tsushima 2, which I don't think you will, but you could. Like it's you could do whatever they want at this point, and we'll all suck their dicks, Gregor.
the one with,
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
which Last of Us one, I do think factions will be a shit. I wouldn't be surprised if you're sort of right, Dave, but it's like weirdly bundled. I made this at the start of the year, my year predictions. It's bundled with like a part 2 director's cut or something.
I think it will be a free to play.
So you got to the beta part.
The beta, maybe. I mean, Last of
So
Us.
you got to buy that part 2 director's
Last of Us
cut if you're
Part
going to
2
play the
Director's
beta.
Cut is another lock at some point in the next 12 months because all they do is re-release Uncharted and Last of Us over and over again to the end of time. So, again, and it will be another game that's actually bad that people won't want to say is bad because they all love Naughty Dog and Sony. But Naughty Dog's last good game was probably Crash Bandicoot
Uncharted 2,
Team Racing.
not Uncharted 2, Last of Us 2.
No, it was absolutely Crash Team Racing on the PS1. That was their last good game. Jack and Daxter 1, an argument could be made.
Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 are like fantastic.
3's better than 2 and 4. We've had this discussion. I like 3 more than 2 and 4. But there we go. Anyway, it's been an hour and 15. If anyone got this far, thank you very much. You can, of course, catch us on all your socials, and we will see you all next week. Obviously, Chris Pengelly and his thoughts about Zelda do not speak for the rest of the podcast, so please, any hate mail, send that at Massive Das on Twitter, not the rest of us. But yes, thank you
If
very
you
much.
just send it to Wellington, there's only one house, so it'll get done.
Right, down the cobble streets by the candlestick maker and the cobblers. But yes, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.
Bye.